Hi everyone. I wanted to talk about the assignment that you have due this week that is called Growth and Development Analysis Paper. I don't know why the formatting on my canvas looks weird here. Um, so basically what you're going to do is you're going to pick a real life person, a person that's at least 3 years old, who you know well enough to complete developmental assessment. You're going to collect and provide a brief overview of the subject's biographical information, including information such as their age, gender, family structure and living environment, education or employment setting, family socioeconomic status, religious affiliation, ethnicity, or cultural elements if that pertains to them. Identify and report the subject's current age period of development per textbook based on their chronological age, so early childhood, middle childhood, late childhood, adolescence, emerging adulthood, early adulthood, middle adulthood, or late adulthood. Thoroughly review the theories, skill concept, and established norms and milestones from the course material that are relevant to the subject's current age period. Select several topics in each of the three developmental domains, physical, cognitive, and psychosocial, that you find interesting and relevant to the individual. So we just talked about physical development in middle adulthood. So if you pick someone who's in middle adulthood, you could talk about maybe some of the declines they might see during that time period. If you wanted to talk about psychosocial, maybe you talk about Erickson's theory and how it applies to the person that you picked for this topic. Maybe for cognitive, you want to talk about Piaget's theory and maybe where they are, in that span. Okay. Describe and compare information about the subject's functioning in your selected topic areas to cited normative information. So maybe you're doing a younger kid and the research shows that they're supposed to be in this specific norm of height and weight, of memory, of social competence, and you're kind of assessing based on the theories that we've learned, are they meeting those developmental milestones? Um, yeah, assess the subject to determine if they've met the developmental expectations. Ensure the inclusion of various theoretical perspectives discussed in the course material. So that's where we would come in with the Erickson and the Piaget, things like that. Um, excuse me, sneezing. Identify and suggest measures to assist in the healthy development of unmet or delayed topics. So if they're not meeting some milestone, what could be done? If it's a little kid, what could the family be doing to help meet that milestone? If it's an adult, what could they be implementing to help? Or if they are meeting that milestone, what could they do to maintain? We talked a lot about physical things in this last module that we can do to, not, exercise, healthy diet can help prolong some of the physical changes we see in middle adulthood. So the minimum length of the paper is 4 pages. It doesn't say this here, but I'm assuming that's double spaced. APA style is double spaced. It's easier for me to read. I appreciate double spaced. The typical length required to cover all the rubric area thoroughly is 4 to 6 double spaced. Utilize the course textbook as the main cited reference and use at least one other resource. Okay, so something scholarly. So using one scholarly source, adhering to all the APA style guidelines such as a cover and reference page, formatting, spacing, font size, basically just not using any kind of unusual font, Arial, Times New Roman, something like that. Normal margins. There's no need to try to use a bigger font or different margins to make your paper seem longer, because you're probably, if you're making it seem longer, you're probably not hitting everything on the rubric anyway. In-text citation formatting. So if you're saying, you know, this theorist says this, you need to have an in-text citation and say where you got that information from. The quality and effectiveness of your writing is important. Please use professional scholarly language that follows basic grammar and punctuation rules and maintains accurate spelling. So still putting things in your own word, you're still paraphrasing, right? But just, you know, make it seem like a real paper. You know, don't use slang, things like that. Overly casual. So just looking at the rubric really briefly, overview of subject provides a clear overview of the subject's biographical data. You know, we said age, ethnicity, family structure. Met or unmet tasks, so talking about the different development milestones and whether the person has met them or not. And then also within that, I believe this is where you'd also put the recommendations if they're not meeting the milestones. You know, what could they do? APA follows APA guidelines. You know, just making sure that you're not using person first language, things like that. References using your text and at least one external reference within the last 5 years. Paper has at least 4 completed page of content and student submits the assignment with all necessary components. Thoroughly compares the individual's current cognitive development to the textbook description. Various theories establish norms and developmental milestones. Effectively interprets at least 3 variables that influence cognitive development. Physical development, same. Psychosocial development. Provides a thorough description of the subject's current period of life according to the textbook. So middle adulthood, childhood, toddlerhood. Well, it has to be at least 3, so probably not toddler. Okay, here's the psychosocial part, 3 variables. Effectively identifies at least 2 measures to assist the individual to achieve, maintain, or enhance the tasks. So if they're meeting those goals, how are they going to keep meeting them? If they're not meeting those developmental milestones, how are they going to improve that? Okay, good luck.